So KSCC program support startups to go beyond the one country, so go globally. When we have found this company, we thought that whether a company becomes global from day one or becomes global company in the future after the company becomes successful in one region. But we wanted to choose to be global from day one. And KSC program was perfect for us because it could let us to become a global from day one.
KSCC and Biohouse have been a tremendous help for us in terms of getting networks in Israel, and it has opened a lot of doors with HMOs and university hospitals. And I would really recommend companies in Korea, not only in Korea, but also in different countries, to come to Israel and have this great opportunity with them.
So Israel isn't a big market, but we chose it for mainly two reasons. One, we wanted to have a country that we can go into that had a very good digital healthcare infrastructure. And second, we wanted to find a country that would focus on what we would focus on better patient outcomes at lower prices.
From participating from pre-program to main program, we were able to understand Israeli market, and also we are introduced a lot of partners. We believe we will make fantastic collaboration in Israel. We are planning to conduct a multi-center clinical trial in UK, South Korea, Dubai, and Israel next year.
Wrapping up the KSC 2021 program was quite exciting. We put a lot of time and energy. We've been working for over 8 months on this, meeting the companies, preparing them, going through different stages, going through different sifting processes as well. We didn't end up with all the companies we started with, and it's a big milestone, and I think mostly for the companies, a little less for us. Yeah, so I've been working with Koreans for almost a decade now. We've met them in 2012. There was an interesting delegation that actually came to Israel to learn about the Israeli innovation. That was quite odd for me at the time. But during this decade, I've seen what the Koreans have done in the innovation field, and it's actually quite impressive. So each time I meet them during these years, I can see how they're making progress, and it's really nice. We were very impressed with all the Korean startups we've met. There's something that is very receptive about the people in Korea, something that you don't see in many Israelis. They're very open to learning new things, and they implement very, very quickly. Their learning curve is very steep. And it's really interesting to work with them. The biggest thing we did with all the companies we worked with is make strategic connections, opening doors in a market that is unfamiliar to people coming to the program is actually the biggest value you can offer. Yes, we brought in professional content. Yes, we brought experts that taught them things that they didn't know. But that is easy to do. I think the difficult part, and where we really excelled, is opening these doors to the people we knew and we work with on a day-to-day basis to bring value to these companies. So I think all the companies we work with, all the 7 finalists have value and they have made progress, and it really was nice to see. Different companies took different parts of this value. I think that the company that by far did the most things in the most aspects was Aon. The dental 3D printing company really made progress in each and every aspect that we set out to do. They made new strategic connections, they have new business partners, they have development opportunities for new materials here in Israel, they made regulatory progress as well, and they opened up new connections outside of Israel via some of the connections we made here. So that for us was the biggest dream we could accomplish. At first, when we heard about this program coming from KISET, from the Korean government, I was very impressed at how a government, any government, can approach such a challenge on a global level. I really have to take my hat off to the people organizing this type of program, and I really wish they would continue it. Biohouse is only one point in the globe, and there are 6 others in many tech industries, and I can really feel how this type of approach, governmental approach, has an impact on an entire society, an entire population. So I would really like to see this go on, and we're definitely going to apply for a second round because we feel like we're making a change, and that feels good.
Well, I don't actually think that we wrapped up because we continue our connection with the companies and we continue creating more value for them. But it was a little bit sad because it just got started. That was the feeling after the demo day that we had. When we finished the Case Startup Israel 2021, I would say that it felt like we didn't finish because we still continue our relationships with the startups, creating more value for them. We want to be responsible for what we have gone through with them and take it to a next step. It was very pleasant to work with Korean colleagues because of the enormous amount of politeness and experience in their field, and also their crave for learning something new that made this collaboration such successful. One of the big achievements that we had with the AON company, the company that develops 3D printing for the dental industry, was that they've managed to find an Israeli partner for the co-development, and they're going to file their application to the CoReal Fund of non-dilutive funding, which is a practical achievement which is going to be translated into actual funding. We think we've just got started, and we would love to know more companies and more sectors and develop this kind of collaboration in the future, because we believe that this partnership between Israel and South Korea in terms of biomedical sector would bring both sides to a new level of proficiency.